English serves as a cultural foundation due to its historical evolution and widespread adoption. The language's significance is evident in its transition from a scholarly lingua franca to language championed by influential figures like Richard Mulcaster in the 16th century. Shift reflects the changing cultural landscape and the growing importance of English as a means of global communication. Moreover, the integration of word markers and technological advance has facilitated greater cultural exchange. For solidifying English as a cultural cornerstone in the media, particularly the press, English has historically disseminated cultural information reflecting the values of its time. From the penny papers in the 19th century, which were affordable and accessible to working class audiences, to today's global English language media, the dissemination of cultural narratives and values has been a consistent feature. This has contributed to the language's pervasive cultural impact, shaping and reflecting historical and contemporary cultural values. English in the media continues to play a crucial role in shaping cultural narratives globally. The dominance of English in the media landscape, as highlighted by the New York Times, underscores its parallel influence and reach, riding the crest of globalization and technology. English dominates the world as no language ever has, and some linguists are now saying it may never be destroyed and decaying languages. This further emphasizes the enduring impact English is shaping cultural narratives and values on global scale.
Hi teacher, my name is Carlos Campo and presentation is a radio, television and film industry. The importance of the English in radio is significant as it is the major language of the medium and was the first language to broadcast on radio. The first broadcast in English date back to 1906 when the radio and the French that broadcast music, poetry and talk. The first commercial station, Pittsburgh and KDUK, began broadcast in 1912, tracking the result of the presidential election. Television. In the United States, there are approximately one television set per person. Total is 332 million television sets. As the broadcast in English underlines the importance of the English on television. And globally, English has a significant impact, being the preferred even in countries where it is not the mother tongue, as in Hollywood, which produces 1,000 films in English each year. Films and TV programs cover culture and custom as a willing entertainment. Watching television in English improves comprehension and oral expression, reflecting to the right communication of native speakers. War is slowing the growth of the European film industry, allowing the United States to dominate with Hollywood from 1950, and with the advent of the Sony Select in 1912, English became the main language of cinema. By 1933, most studios and artists were working in English, and this trend continues today. Hollywood produces major films aimed at the mass audiences, such as Star Wars and Titanic. In 2002, more than 18% of the future films released were in English.
Molina, I'm going to talk about the dominance of English in the music industry. English has become the dominant language in the popular music industry from its beginnings in the 19th century to the present. This is due to a series of factors such as technological development, radio broadcasting, globalization, and the influence of Anglo-Saxon artists. The dissemination of this language through music is an important historical and cultural fact. The early influence of English on the phonographic industry was evidenced in the invention of the phonograph by Thomas Edison in 1877 marked the beginning of the recording industry, whose first recordings were in English. Technological advances such as the gramophone, record, and magnetic tape were developed primarily in English-speaking countries. The major popular music record companies of the 20th century, such as Columbia, H&B, Brunswick, and Decca, had English-speaking roots. English in popular music. Popular music in English is widely broadcast on the radio. Many young people learn English through popular music, whose influence has grown in the 20th century. The influence of English of popular music. At the end of the 19th century, light opera, popular European music incorporated English, especially with immigrant composers. 20th century, Anglo-Saxon artists dominate modern popular music such as Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and Rolling Stones. The list of best-selling songs since 1942 are the mostly English songs. English literature, it has long a story of being influenced by foreign cultures and ideas. From its early roots to the 20th century, Latin classic learning and European movements have played a role in shaping the content and study of English literature. This ongoing influence has resulted in a rich and diverse literary tradition. Early English literature, 5th and 11th centuries, founded by Germanic and Mediterranean invaders with works like narrative, histories, and philosophy. The conversion of Christianity introduced Latin as preferred language for literature, Alfred King's period. Arrival of Normans in 1066 saw continued copying of all English texts and the emergence of heroic poetry, developed influences. Middle Ages 20th century, Latin and Anglo-Norman right influence of all English literature, leading to a more flexible language. The Renaissance and later periods draw inspiration from classical learning and European intellectual movements. Figures like Geoffrey Chaucer and William Shakespeare exemplify this influence. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw further influence for decadent and modernist movements originating in continental Europe. 19th and early 20th centuries, with roots in French and German thought, further shaped the study of English literature in the late 20th century.
English literature. Literary periods are periods of time for literature that share intellectual, linguistic, religion, and artist influence. The following links organized by literary periods direct to the library catalog or works by author literary movement style of work. For more information on the material relating to specific literary periods, click on the literary periods on Engarni's chat in the drop down menu above. Modern English literature. This subject allows students studying the degree in English studies to come into intimate contact with the historical cultural base of the British society. At the same time, it is an essential complement in learning the English language and provides first rate reinforcement in the development of linguistic skills.